Ethan Gray was tired. Not the kind of tired that sleep could fix, but the kind that settled deep in the bones. Every morning, his alarm rang at 5:30 a.m., and every morning he wondered the same thing. Why am I still trying? At 27, Ethan felt far behind in life. While his friends posted pictures of promotions, weddings, and vacations, he rode the same overcrowded bus to a job he didn't love, earning just enough to survive. His dreams, once bright and loud, had grown quiet, buried under rejection letters and unpaid bills. Yet every morning he still got up. Not because he believed things would improve, but because stopping felt worse. Ethan had once dreamed of becoming a writer. In college, his professors praised his work, telling him he had something rare. He believed them back then, but after graduation, reality struck hard. Publishers rejected his manuscripts, emails went unanswered, encouragement faded, doubt took its place. "You should be realistic," people said. "Get a stable job, writing can wait." So he waited. Years passed. One rainy evening, after another exhausting shift, Ethan found an old notebook while cleaning his tiny apartment. The pages were yellowed, the handwriting messy but alive. It was filled with stories, unfinished, imperfect, but honest. As he flipped through them, something tightened in his chest. "I used to believe in this," he thought. That night, the power went out. The apartment fell into silence, broken only by the rain tapping the windows. With no phone, no television, and nothing to distract him, he lit a candle and opened the notebook again. He began to write. Not for success, not for money, just to remember who he was. Minutes turned into hours. The candle burned low, but his mind burned brighter. For the first time in years, he felt present, alive. The next morning, he was exhausted, but different. Something had shifted. Ethan made a decision. Every day, no matter how tired he was, he would write for 1 hour, no excuses. Some days were painful. Words refused to come. Doubt screamed loudly. Other days, the stories flowed effortlessly, but he kept going. Weeks passed. Months passed. No one noticed at first. His life looked the same from the outside. Same job, same bus, same routine. But inside, he was changing. Writing was no longer a dream, it was a discipline. One evening, a coworker named Lisa noticed Ethan scribbling during a break. "What are you always writing?" she asked, almost embarrassed. "Stories," Ethan replied. Lisa smiled. "I'd love to read one someday." The words surprised him. No one had asked that in years. He shared a short story with her the next day. She read it slowly, then looked up with wide eyes. "This is really good. Why isn't this published?" Ethan laughed softly. "Because nobody wants it." "Then they're wrong," Lisa replied simply. That moment stayed with him. Encouraged, Ethan submitted a story to a small online magazine, not expecting much. Weeks passed without response. Just as he began to forget about it, an email arrived. "We would like to publish your story." Ethan stared at the screen, reading the sentence again and again. His hands trembled. It wasn't a famous magazine, it didn't pay much, but it was real. Someone believed in his words. That single acceptance changed nothing and everything. He didn't quit his job, he didn't suddenly become successful, but he gained something far more powerful. Proof. Proof that effort mattered, proof that persistence worked, proof that his dream wasn't foolish. Rejections still came, many of them, but now they didn't crush him, they trained him. Each story grew stronger, each failure sharpened his skill. 2 years later, Ethan stood in a small bookstore holding a paperback with his name on the cover. It wasn't a bestseller, it didn't make him rich, but it existed, and so did the man who refused to give up. As he looked around the room at strangers who had come to hear him speak, Ethan remembered the nights he almost quit, the mornings he felt invisible, the fear that whispered he was wasting his life. He smiled, because he understood something now. Success wasn't about arriving quickly. It wasn't about being ahead of others. It wasn't about never failing. Success was about continuing when no one was watching, about believing in yourself before the world does, about choosing effort over comfort again and again. After the reading, a young man approached Ethan. "I want to be a writer, but I feel like I'm too late." Ethan shook his head. "You're not late. You're just early in your persistence." That night, as Ethan walked home under a quiet sky, he felt the familiar weight of tomorrow, but it no longer scared him, because he knew something powerful. As long as he kept moving forward, tomorrow would eventually meet him halfway. And that was enough.